Uh, we're all pretty we're all pretty even, but it's the same people: Bryson Shaw, Marcus Hooker. We're all just constant competition every day.
Do you prefer the free safety spot to be able to roam and do your thing, or just what's in your mind, Josh?
Um, I like the free safety spot.
And why?
I like being like that person over the top. I feel like I'm rangy, but I also don't mind playing in the box. So I do miss going down and actually getting into action a lot like I used to.
Do you guys have a sense that people are going to come after you a little bit based on some of those games last year? Sometimes I think y'all struggled to even get guys to practice. You know what I mean? Because the challenges y'all had, but it wasn't the best pass defense in Ohio State history. Let's put it that way. Do you expect people to kind of come after y'all and see if you've gotten better?
Oh yeah, definitely. And what I'll say is we're ready. I mean, we've been practicing every day. We know we've done this off season, so I feel like we'll shock a lot of people this year.
Who is the guy that you know is going to open some eyes among your group?
Um, I'm gonna go with a young guy, Denzel.
And why is that?
He just has it. Like he came in like he was an older guy. Like his mindset in the playbook, film. He just feels like he fits in here.
Josh, how challenging was it for you throughout your whole career to try and put on more of that weight?
It's a lot challenging. It was harder than I thought actually. Didn't think it was gonna take that much, but all the running, all the lifting, all the games is just constant moving around.
So,
And it's kind of hard to like get it to stick for me.
so what were you and Mick able to work out to accomplish this in that last year?
Just a constant meal plan throughout the day, just making sure I'm getting the right things in my body.
So what
Making
all
sure
goes
I
into that now?
replenish. Oh, same things. Same
Just
things.
more of it?
Just more of it.
Okay.
Can't stop it.
So how will that extra weight that you're carrying, have you given up anything in the speed department? How are you moving the same?
uh, I'd say it probably took me a little while to get comfortable with it, but for the most part, I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with moving around with it.
So how do you think that will show up now?
Just being able to just be more physical with people at the junction points
What'd you
and
play
point of
last year?
contact.
What was your weight last year?
Maybe about 195.
And how would you assess the way you played last year?
Um, I try to play the same way every year, just fast, run fast, hit hard. That's really just my mindset goes into everything. But I feel like just adding more weight will help me in the long run.
I mean, were you happy with the way you played last year?
Uh, I think you can say yeah, but I just know there's a lot of places that I need to get better and work on and focus on this off season. So
Is
that's
the
really what I've been
consistency the
doing.
thing?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of them. Just getting in that playbook and just knowing my job, the ins and outs, and just focusing on little details.
And you're there now.
Yeah.
Is patience one of those things you need? I mean, don't just go off. You don't talk about it.
Oh yeah.
As you've matured, how that's come into play.
I think that just all goes into like the transition from high school. You're so used to relying on athletic ability and just reading, reacting. But yeah, I feel like my patience is really improved, and that's something I really focused on these last few years.
And Josh, but past that though, it seems like if you watch any kind of defensive play by you guys, you almost always end up in the frame, no matter where the video frame
Yeah.
plays over, no matter where it goes. If you improved even in that aspect of getting there, of reading and reacting and getting there.
I definitely had, and that goes into, like I said earlier, just focusing on little details and knowing like what spots I need to be and where I need to be, when I need to be at that spot.
Who do you emulate? Who do you like? Who in the NFL? Who in college football that kind of plays the way that you kind of had in your mind as you've grown up, so to speak?
I'm gonna go with Jay Fool. He left last year, and I think like as he began his time in the league, I feel like a lot of stuff he used to tell me started to make sense and started to come to me more. So now I start to realize like a lot of little stuff he used to tell me, a lot of little stuff I need to focus on in order to become the player I do want to be, and not rely on athletic ability.
Is he still doing that, Josh? He's still reaching out with those pointers?
Oh, every now and then, whenever we get the chance to talk. I haven't talked to him in a while. I probably do need to hit him up. But yeah, definitely he does.
Josh, what were some examples of that? Like what those things that he told you that maybe didn't really crystallize until last year?
As far as just spending time with the coaches in the film room, maybe the way I write down notes or just really just little details like that that'll help me focus on the field, be able to just play instead of thinking all the time.
Are you finally in the spot you came to Ohio State to play?
I think this is the right spot. I think so, yeah.
Why?
I just feel like I'm used to kind of being like the quarterback back there. Just seeing everything. Just basically like a leader on the defense, really. One of those leaders.
Who do you expect to be back there with you? First play at Minnesota. Who do you expect to be on the field with you?
I honestly don't even know. I don't even know, honestly. Whoever it is, I know Coach Barnes will put the best man for the job, best two people, the best four, and the secondary that he needs out there to win the game.
What is it like to have depth at that bullet position? What variety does that bring to y'all's defense or capability from the standpoint of being flexible?
I think it brings a lot, honestly, because the last few years we haven't had as near as many DBs as we have now. So that's actually a big change for us. But also, I just feel like we can keep guys fresh. Like we don't have to try to kill ourselves and like grind ourselves in the ground every day at practice and even in games. Like we trust people to come in and play behind us.
Who do you expect from that group? Who's the guy that's really caught your eye? I'm not saying he's going to start or whatever. Who's the guy that's really caught your eye? It looks like Craig Young in the bullet group could almost be an artillery shell if you follow my drift there.
Shoot, it can be Lathan, Craig, Rocket. They all know their jobs. They're big bodies. They know what they're doing. They know their playbook. So honestly, just whoever Coach Barnes thinks the best man at when that day comes.
Craig
Josh,
said,
is that a good thing to have that many guys?
It is.
It doesn't create any sort of animosity, if you will, and maybe some healthy competition between you guys, if anything else.
I say it's all healthy because we know when you come here, you're bound to compete. You got the top players from everywhere every year. So if you want to come here, like, you know you're going to have to just compete. There's going to be 2 or 3 guys that may be just as good or better than you, so you have to work.
Josh, we've heard a lot from the coaches about Court Williams and just like his intangibles and what he can bring to the field. What does he bring to the field as a football player, though? What do you guys see physically?
Physically, he's just dominant. He's just a big body. He's always in the right spot. Doesn't make wrong calls. Stays in here all the time in the film room, getting treatment, just making sure his body is right. So I feel like a lot of stuff like you were hearing before he came down with the injury is the same Court Williams you'll end up seeing once he gets the chance to actually step on the field.
Josh, the last couple games last year, I mean, you beat Clemson, you lose to Alabama, but you're playing against the very best competition, wide receivers, quarterbacks. What lessons did you guys get out of those 2 games that you could spin forward to this season to say, if we want to play at a national championship level, these are the things we need to do?
So for me, and what I think a lot of people other might say, but don't take your time for granted. Like last year, we didn't have a lot of time to prepare. We had a lot of bumps in the road. It was like a roller coaster last season. Mm-hmm. And this season, I feel like we just buckled down and we realized like it could all just go so fast. So every game, every play, every snap, like everybody has to focus and be detailed in everything that they do.
Earlier in your career, talking to Damon Arnett one day, and you had some interceptions in practice, and he said, you reminded him of Malik Hooker. But I think this defense would be very happy with the Jordan Fuller, and you mentioned that's kind of who you're looking up to. So what are we going to see from the Ohio State free safety this year when you're back there?
A little bit of both. I'm still that playmaker, the ball hawk, rangy safety, but as far as just knowing my assignment and being out of spots, taking wrong angles, like I'll be better and detailed in those spots also.
How difficult is it to decide between going for that big play or going for the safe play?
It's more difficult than you would think, but as long as you know your job and your eyes are in the right spot, your body's going to react how it's supposed to.
Josh, you had some big interceptions. You also probably had a few that you could have. How much did you work with a jugs machine to catch the ball?
I've actually been on those every day since we started camp. So that's one thing I actually focused on this year too, is catching the ball. I know I really get excited in games. my eyes get big once I see the ball and I'm looking other places. I'll be okay. I'll be okay this
How many
year.
balls you catch in the day?
I didn't catch any, dude. Nah, not no 5,000-6,000. But I probably just try to get as much as I can before my body gets tired and get out of here after practice.
Well, your talent is pretty obvious.
Mhm.
Putting it all together consistently, that's been,
One of my main focus, yeah.
I mean, senior year is just like, okay, I'm ready to be a full Josh Proctor.
That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel, and I feel like I'm in the road that Jay Full was here when I got here. A lot of young guys, just bringing them along and making sure like they know the ropes and how to go about their business once they get here. So I feel like I'm in that position now, and it's my time to step up.
Josh, thank you very much.
Thanks, Josh. Good
Thanks,
luck.
Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you.